Okay, guys, it's time for some real talk. So, the price of Bitcoin right now has gone to around $115,000. And a lot of you must be panicking and you must be seeing what's going on. So, let me tell you something. Crypto, from a fundamental standpoint, has changed a lot, especially around this time. Now, the reason why I say this is because we are still a very, very small industry right now, around 3.90 trillion to 4 trillion. While it may seem a very big number to some people, in reality it isn't. When you compare us to traditional markets, to other markets, to the S&P 500, to the stock markets, to all of those markets of the past, which are in hundreds of trillions, okay, multi-trillions, massive, massive markets. And this is why this is your chance and your time to really, really understand what's going on. We have gone from a very speculative market where people from a certain group, a certain group of people that really believed in the future of crypto were trading in this market. And a lot of them were also, risking a lot. So back in 2017, a lot of people made a lot of money. A lot of people lost a lot of money just by literally entering every new coin and then, uh, winning some, losing some, winning some, losing some. And, it felt great to some people. But then obviously a lot of people didn't sell at the right time. Okay. Then the last market, the last bull run was absolutely insane. We had an insane DeFi summer. We had massive news coming out. We had similar price figures for Bitcoin, which they are today, above 100K, but that never happened. And we went through a massive crash. We lost a lot of money on, because of various bad exchanges and companies like FTX and a few other ones. And that created a lot of, stress for a lot of people. A lot of people started to get afraid. And then we come to this market. Now, for real, politicians are in, governments are getting in, they're buying Bitcoin like crazy, they're buying Ethereum like crazy, institutions are officially in, officially. I never said that they weren't in the last bull run, but this time, they're now offering ETFs to their customers. They are, opening up so many opportunities. And the crypto market has just been in a PTSD state. It goes up a little, people are very happy. It goes down, they start thinking it's all doom and gloom, which is very, very childish and unlikely. Look, the fact is simple. We've gone from a market where a few people traded to a market where the biggest asset managers, the biggest finance-based investment companies, to presidents and government officials, literally getting in on this technology and buying a ton. You, me, or anyone else does not have the type of money that they have, unless you were one of those lucky few that back in 2009 bought Bitcoin, or that were doing the those verifying things that the CAPTCHA, as they call it, the CAPTCHA, CAPTCHA. There was a website that used to give you 5 Bitcoins in 2010 for doing just that every day. So unless you're not one of those people, you don't have the type of money that these people have. You cannot compete with them. There are Bitcoin whales that definitely have an edge, but it's not you, me, or anyone else that is right now in crypto. So where do we look at? We see massive price action. People think it's too late. um, but it's only beginning. So when you see such price action, such manipulation in the market, you got to realize that these institutions are all together. Okay, they are looking out for each other, and they're looking out for each other's best interest. A lower price means more buying at a better price. Okay, they don't care about buying OTC. They have bought a ton in OTC as well, but they want to also buy it publicly. They also want the graphs to show some sort of a story. They want the graphs to go down. Okay, so that you panic and you sell. They they enjoy that. So while everything is super bullish, you've got a bullish crypto SEC. You've got Paul Atkins in the U.S. You've got Cynthia Loomis. You've got the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve finally. Cynthia Loomis already proposed that. Trump has finally passed that. The parliament, this has been passed in the Senate. It's all happening, and Ethereum has been bought during this time in massive amounts by institutions on chain and also on OTC. Now, OTC is basically over the counter, so that doesn't affect the charts. So then they create all this sell pressure, okay? And, they make it look like things are going down. And, the emotional person, who doesn't really know how to navigate through these markets, that person gets nervous. That person panics. That person sells. The other thing is they know that a lot of people are relying on altcoins. That means coins besides Bitcoin. Ethereum comes in the altcoins, but it's too big of a coin now to be even considered in that category, in my personal opinion. So anything besides Ethereum is an altcoin as well. Basically, besides Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's an altcoin. Okay? So you got to realize, what game are they trying to play? They're trying to wash you out. Okay? Basically, people that used to rely on massive rewards through leverage trading are getting washed out. Big time. Okay? And the institutions know this, and they don't care. Okay? They don't care if your money goes to zero. People who have bought their crypto in spot, they can see, their amounts going down. But if they have the right knowledge and they know what they invested in, they wouldn't be too worried. But those who don't have that knowledge are very worried as to what will happen. And they have created this sort of situation where they're all looking out for each other. They're all looking out for each other's best interest, and not for you. So the reality is, you can't beat the whales. Okay, and the whales are now the institutions, the government officials, so on and so forth. Those people that have a ton of money. Okay? Look, just a few days ago, the US announced that they won't be buying more Bitcoin. Then the statement changed. Of course, they're buying a ton of Bitcoin. They just won't tell you, but then they changed the statement to we're going to be using tariff money and the confiscated Bitcoin for our reserve. And of course, they're going to be using tariff money to be buying more Bitcoin. So do not listen to what they say, see what they do. Their actions are different from their words. And now they know very well that people are waiting for an altcoin rally. They're waiting, for their investments to go up. So this is the time where I tell you, you got to have the knowledge of what you invested in, why you invested in it. You have to have that understanding, because if you don't, you're going to lose so much money that, you're going to think there's no way out of this. So you got to be focused. You got to be sharp. You got to have the understanding. You got to question yourself. Why am I buying this coin? Okay, this goes beyond meme coins. Meme coins have no intrinsic value overall, except for a meme culture. I know it's an industry. It's become a big industry now, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't come with its fair share of very, very high risks. Now, some people say that altcoins are never going to go up. That's the biggest pile of nonsense. You can see right now, even altcoins are going up. But which ones? Altcoins that are building that are generating real revenue are the ones that you should be accumulating right now. Every dip, consider that as a blessing, okay? Because that allows you to buy your coins. Now, for most of you, buying one Bitcoin is unattainable. But buying something that could give you that amount where you can buy that Bitcoin eventually is very attainable. And that's where the altcoins come. That's why there's so much love and hype for altcoins. Because the reality is that people need to make a really big amount of money to be buying Bitcoin now. You know, it's in finite supply. Everybody is on board. Big money is on board. And they're going to be buying a ton. Same case with Ethereum. And of course, then there'll be other altcoins where they'd be buying once they have more knowledge of it. Once they've milked these two coins as much as possible. And that's where your opportunity lies. You cannot beat the whales, but you can definitely, benefit from them. And that's why you buy altcoins. Altcoins that are doing great work, that are doing revolutionary work, that are generating real revenue. Those are the ones that will succeed. Now, in our Crypto Ronins Discord, we have those type of projects. We've also had a few duds. Naturally, that's part of the process. Because if there are no duds, then we'll all be, we'll all be billionaires, right? But the reality is, when it comes to trading, when it comes to all those things, when it comes to investing, there's always a level of risk. And if you're not willing to take that, this market is not for you. So, however, our track record is very positive because most of our projects are performing well. Some of them that are down right now will recover because of their strong fundamentals and their ability to earn real revenue. And that's the good stuff. But here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a bunch of coins that if you hold them for the next 5 years, you're going to be all right. Let's say you don't want to be too stressed out, okay? And you want to hold something. So I'm going to give you a bunch of them. Number one is Ethereum. I mean, there's no other chain that is as potent as Ethereum. Now, it's not the best chain technically. However, Ethereum has had no downtime, okay? Literally zero downtime on Ethereum. So that means that the chain has never been down. It's always been there. Since its inception, it's been working without any pauses. So that means it's institutional ready. That means it's ready for DeFi. DeFi, of course, it was ready for DeFi. Now institutions doing DeFi activities, that's probably going to be all on Ethereum. So Ethereum is there. Number two, XRP. Big banks are all integrating XRP. You're going to soon be seeing, the level at which Ripple is taking XRP, and it's going to be insane. And that's not a moon boy talk. That's just facts. And I'm not even a fan of XRP, and I can tell you that. So number two, XRP, no brainer. Number three, I would say Solana. Solana has really gained some ground, even though it has had past outages. It's really been performing, and it's really, gathered a lot of institutional interest. So Solana is there. Then we've got Cardano. Okay, now that's not even one of my favorite projects, but they've been at it for a while. They've been working, and they're working with the U.S. government. All right. Then we've got Quant. That's part of the ISO 20022 messaging system, which is going live, or which has gone live, and now it's going to be integrated all over. Eventually, it's this system is going to replace Swift. So it's part of the XRP ecosystem. XRP, and then Quant, and then we've got Hedera Hashgraph, which I'm hearing that there's an ETF that is supposedly about to come out for Hedera Hashgraph as well. Then we've got Chainlink. Chainlink is literally, it's a blue chip. Chainlink is literally integrated with every big crypto project. So that's one. That's another one. Then we've got Zinfin, XDC. That's also part of the ISO 20022 ecosystem. Okay, then we've got Stellar Lumens, XLM. Okay, that's also part of the ISO 20022 ecosystem. And then we've got VeChain. Okay, and VeChain, I believe, most people are sleeping on it, but I believe it's going to be here for a long time. And their blockchain partnerships with revolutionary motor companies like BYD in China and so on and so forth is impressive to say the least. And they are definitely part of this big ecosystem as well. They are right there along with the big conglomerates like XRP and all those. And VeChain is definitely one for sure as well. So these are some cryptos. Now, an underdog that I would personally give you, and I've been talking about it, and these guys have been building throughout this run. They are, and I believe they're going to be here for a long time, is morphware, XMW. Now, XMW is a super undervalued gem. This is that coin that, in my opinion, again, not financial advice, none of this is financial advice, but in my personal opinion, this is one that can give you generational wealth if you enter into it now. The level of work that these guys are doing, they're basically an AI company. They have an AI side of the business. They're already partnered with Honda, Vans, Nike, Adidas, their representatives in Paraguay. They also have a ton of miners set up in Paraguay. They have partnerships with the government of Paraguay, where they're literally using the Itaipu Dam to generate endless electricity for Bitcoin mining. So they're generating Bitcoin, a ton of Bitcoin, and they're increasing their miners. They also have the NVIDIA B200, which is so difficult to obtain. So they have deep connections in the industry. They are also setting up another facility in Dubai, in UAE. Sorry, not Dubai, but in the UAE. I believe it's Abu Dhabi, if I'm not mistaken. And so they have contacts there. They're partnering up with some really, really big oil money companies, that have oil money, as we say in the Middle East. They're partnering up with morphware for all that they're offering. It's going to be one of the most insane projects, in my opinion. And they're also here. They're also one that I believe are going to be here for years to come. They've literally, the buyback tokens that they have bought back their own tokens as well, and they have locked that supply for 10 years or more. So that goes to show you how much of confidence that they have in their own project. And they have been building and building and building, and I'm so impressed with what they're doing. So definitely that is one to really, really, really look into, guys. Morpher is definitely one. So I hope this video, it's a different one. I'm going to be showing you a bunch of results from my previous bull run and what we've achieved so far in this bull run, and why you should be joining our Discord if you want the right type of coins, the right type of information, the information that is not literally sponsored by anyone, that I've not been paid to say by anyone. Then join our Discord. Just like this video, none of these projects have paid me. I don't talk about anything that I don't believe in. And I hope this video was resourceful for you and helpful for you. So guys, this is me, the DeFi enthusiast, signing out from the Crypto Ronins. Join our Discord if you want the best crypto alpha.